If I'm on the floor, don't ever count me out, 'cause I will stand up strong, is what I'm all about.
Hey guys, welcome to my minuscule Barrows guide. I'm gonna be showing you a few the way I do Barrows and telling you a little bit about it as I'm going through. First of all, my highest skill is magic, like not skill, but I mean like my highest combat skill, I guess, is really magic. So more of a mage, I guess. I'm just using Arims with glory, ring of wealth, and some mystic stuff, and a obby as well as a polypore staff. Um, I don't really bring anything too special. I bring about 12 prayer potions. I don't normally bring rocktail, but I just brought a few just to empty out my bank. I brought about 6 rocktail and uh, 8. Normally I bring 8, but I lost one on the way here because let me pull up the map here. I go from Canifis. Where am I here? I go from Canifis down through Mortania, all the way down like this, and I know that wasn't very detailed, but that's basically the rough way that I go. Then I recharge my run here, right there at this resting stop. And then I follow this path, just go like that, and then I get into Morton. Then I just walk through over this bridge and come in, and that's where you finally end up. So yeah, that's just a little preview of how I get there. Of course, there's other ways. If you've done the quest, I don't know what it is exactly, but you see this dungeon here. Off the top of my head, I don't know what the quest is, but there's a certain quest. I don't know what it is. But you go down this dungeon, and basically it takes you straight to here, I think it is, or here, one of these two. Yeah, and then as you can see, you're much closer, and you don't lose anything by going through here, like any food or anything. So yeah. But if you keep your run on and you don't get stuck anywhere, you should be pretty decent getting through there, and you shouldn't lose. You might lose one food, but you really shouldn't lose too much. So yeah. Um, I also bring a few teletabs, so I can go once I'm out of food, obviously. And uh, Vecna Skull, that's what I bring, because what it does is it draws from life around you. It gives you basically a +6 bonus. I believe it stacks on top of like mage potions, but I may be wrong. I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, so let's get started. Oh, also, if you run out of prayer and you just want to go back to the bank, say if you run all the way down here, instead of, when you get to Canifis and you go into this bank, instead of just filling up on your prayer potions right there and lugging them down, you can come in, go through the back way through the temple, come up through this dungeon point here, you go in there, come up through this dungeon point, you come here, and then you just walk inside of this building and click on the altar and then go back down and you're good to go. So yeah, that's just a quick little mention for you there. Um, Okay, so yeah, let's get this started, shall we? Personally, I do recommend using mage. It's, in my opinion, I've tried mage, range, and straight up melee. In my opinion, if you're not maxed melee, then you're better off using mage. If you have 70 plus mage, you're pretty decent. Although you basically want 85 plus, so that way you can get a polypore staff. It will save you a lot of money on runes. Um, I guess once that evolution of combat comes out, it won't be such a big deal. But I don't know. I haven't really used that evolution of combat yet. So, um, yeah. So basically, I like to go Darok, then Guthans. From Guthans, I go down to. Let me think. For some reason, I can't remember all the names of these guys. From Guthans, I go down to. I don't know. I'll tell you in a second when I get there. But yeah, basically he hits through prayer. So a lot of people just say save your prayer, don't use prayer. But that's if you're a meleeer. That means you have good melee defense, you know, you're good against it, and he won't hit through you as well. Like, yeah, it's hard as he normally would. But basically, he does hit through prayer, but if you have prayer, it helps a little bit. You might see me get hit a couple times here, but if I turned off my prayer, I'd get hit almost all the time. Um, Usually I don't use my Vecna Skull, although I could use it at the beginning, and then by the time I'm all the way through the course, I could use it again for the next run. Um, but I mainly like to use it once I get up to Carol's there. So it goes Durok, Guthin. Did I really not look? Here, give me 1 second, guys. Let me go in here. Derek, Guthins, Varrock. There we go. And then Torag, Carol, and Aram. My favorite to have in the tunnel is probably Aram, just because he's the last and you can just go through without worrying. But either, um, really, if you have Torag, Carol's, or Aram, then you're pretty good straight off the bat. Now Barrows is it used to be a while ago pretty good money making method. It's not the best anymore. Like you can make a few K here and there, but basically if you want to make a lot of money from Barrows, you got to do about 100 chests or something like that, and you'll make a decent amount off runes. Um, the best armor that you could possibly get would have to be, in my opinion, um, Darok from looting the chest. That'd probably be the best thing. Oh, Carol's is my tunnel, just so you see. Now, some people also like to click the tunnel right away once it pops up. Would you like to enter the tunnel? I recommend that you don't, because they have to fight the other brothers while you're in there too, that are still alive. They have not killed yet. So now, see, here's where it's nice to have the Vecna Skull, because as you can see, it boosts my mage up to 96, and when you're going against a major with a mage, you want to have high mage at least. So most people would bring like range or something like that just to take him out, but you know what? It's fine. It'll be good. Now you don't really need. I normally don't use mage prayer, but I recommend it for lower levels who don't have high defense. As you can see, it takes down your defense stats. So he will hit if most of the time he just uses stun, as you can see, which takes down your stats a little bit, but it does not affect your mage. And if you don't have mage prayer on, he usually likes to hit you with something straight up. I'm not sure what it is. It might be fire blast, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So like I was saying, the best is probably Darok armor, probably Darok plate leg or plate body that you can get. I have not got a Darok yet, and I've done about 40, 40 runs with my 100 prayer pots that I bought for this. Um, and you know what? That's fine for with me. I just want to see what I could get. So yeah, it's not bad. I've already got an Aram's hood. It's not what I'm wearing, and I also have got a. I think I have a Verox helmet or something. I'm not positive, but I will. I'm not going to show you because I'm not going back to the bank, but yeah, it might be a Verox hood. See, when you're coming through long ones like this, always look to check on the middle door, because as you can see, there'll always be a way to get in from here to there, so you just want to check so that way you don't accidentally go down there. When you're at a cross door like this, where you can't see either way, then in my opinion, the best thing to do is just to go through the middle one, because it'll eventually lead to where that one was leading. Okay, so now you see Carol. He hits pretty high, so you definitely need a range defense. He will not hit through through your prayer, but he hits really high if you don't have it on. So I recommend having it on at all times. Sorry guys, that was my drink. It's empty. So yeah, I recommend having it on at all times when you're going through. Um, a lot of people say that the number of creatures that you want to slay is at least 10, but for me, I could care less about slaying creatures. I'd rather get power through a whole bunch of different uh, Barrows runs than just worry about getting a whole bunch on one. It does. Nobody's actually proven that it does affect your odds. So, but a lot of people say that if you want a lot of runes, then you get a high kill count. Oh, clicked the wrong one. Good thing that zombie popped up. Normally I think there's 4 or 5 different types of key locks that you'll get. The one that you just saw is a puzzle. It will see with this one, it was just like the different like rectangles, squares, yada yada, and you always pick the square on that one. On the one previous to that, it was you always pick the 3, where it has a 3 in like a L shape kind of thing. Okay, so I pick up every rune that I can, and the bolt racks, and as well as if there's an item. Otherwise, I do not pick up those restore potions unless unless I'm low on prayer pots. Then I pick up those potions just to help me out a little bit, but I mainly don't, just because they do not interest me that much. Yeah, let's go this way. See, if you know you're running back, you can either take the long tunnel or the go through the middle. I'd rather take the long tunnel or run back when you're trying to get out, just because there's only 2 creatures in that tunnel, and you will not get hit for as much damage from those creatures as you will in those tunnels. See, as you can see by my guess, I probably got, I don't know, 40k. I will check when I'm at top, but I only used 1 prayer pot and 2 food, I think. So I did not lose that much. See, from here on, I wasn't sure, so I did make a mistake because I cannot go through that door, so I do need to go through that long path. See, that's where sometimes you make mistakes like that, and sometimes you don't. But if you're only doing a few runs and you have a lot of extra food, then you should be good. Now, a lot of people that you'll see that do Barrows runs have they take like they take like prayer restore potions and prayer potions, and then they take like Ceridome and brews and super restores and stuff, and that's fine if you want to do that. It'll let you have more runs, most likely, if you don't go through a lot of pots, especially if you're lower level, then you'll go through a lot of pots. But like that's fine if you want a lower amount of money that you make each run. Like here, I'll show you how much I made. So basically, I used one of these and one of these for this run. Let's see how much okay, so that's 3.6 basically. Okay, now let's see how much I made. Um, Death runes alone got 20k, so that's a profit. Profit. So 43k. So I said around 40k. So I was pretty close there. Um, Basically the price that I made about 38k profit off that one run. So that is not bad in my opinion. But say if you used 1 Ceridome brew and then um and like a prayer pot as well and then a super restore. Say use those 3. I don't know why you'd use a super restore and a prayer pot. Just use super restore. So let's just say 1 Ceridome brew, 1 super restore. You probably use 20k right there. So and if you're lower level, you might use 2 um, Ceridome brews and 1 super restores, so that could be going upwards of 30k. So as you can see, that's a lot of monies. Um, and basically, I'm not sure if there's anything else you really need to know about this. I know there is one quest that allows you to unlock another brother named Acrusay. What is this quest called? Trying to remember what it's called. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. Like I said, it was not normally gonna do a guide for this, but I just decided, what the heck, if I'm gonna show you me doing a Barrows run, I might as well tell you a little bit about Barrows. Uh, I can't. Is it like the ritual for? Oh, right here, for Marguerite or something like that. I think that's the one. Here, let's go. Rewards. Yeah, see, this is exactly it. Look at how much stuff you get, like 110,000 agility. That's a decent amount. But, of course, it requires 77 agility, so It might get you a level if you're lucky.